Welcome back, everybody. It is I, Amol. I wasn't sure what to say for the intro, so I just said all of this. Yeah, we are now sailing for the real, like usual draft league stuff that you like, because I believe you'd like it if you were to watch it. You wouldn't watch draft league if you hate it. But yeah, we're back for the actual draft league alongside the BBL Scramble Tour. And this time, like in the actual time we are doing right now, we actually have the DLC Pokemon alongside us. So the new Pokemon from DLC alongside the returning one. Yeah, we have way more Pokemon to play with. So it's gonna be one very special league to play in. Especially you have all of the good buddies in it, as well as people I've never played before, nor heard before. I'm not that well off in terms of knowledge, but yes, it's gonna be fun and fully. So that's the intro of the draft being done. So I guess we are now gonna jump on, well, the draft itself, which is basically the point analysis. Yeah, I guess you guys can tell that I'm going in there completely with no notes or anything like this. The struggle of doing YouTube videos with presentation. It's school's presentation all over again. Nah. But okay, yeah. Okay, more seriously, if by going over the draft itself, in the order, I am dead draft. That you can see, like you see the little ice cube on the left, the one below the Downfan logo. Yeah, that's the last place in the draft order. So when I was there, I was like, okay, I will not get anything new. I'll just settle for whatever's left. You know, the likes of, I don't know. Uh, actually, I don't know what we have left because practically anything can go and just doesn't go. And yeah, I think you can tell that this is just a narrative because I'm not hiding anything with my first pick. Yeah, Blood Moon Ursaluna was still there. I wanted a new toy preferably, so yeah. Not really new because Ursaluna, but still new because it's the new form from the DLC. Pretty surprised when I saw that Ursaluna of all Pokemon got a new form. Like, okay, sure. And if we go over the difference real quick, compared to its regular form, this Ursaluna right there has less H. Yeah, it has less HP, attack, and special defense, but has more defense, special attack, and speed. I would say stat wise, regular Ursula might have it better because it has its speed and special attack being awful stats, so you don't have to care about them anyway. While Blood Moon is supposedly faster, but it's only by 2 points, so that's kinda helpful, but not really. And then you have, of course, the attack stat, which it's not like its special attack, where it's just pathetic, because it's base 70, so it's bad, but not another level of bad. Meaning that technically regular Ursaluna use more of its stats than Blood Moon does, because it's just a base 70 attack that just goes down the ways versus a base 45 special attack. But beside that, despite the less HP, the higher defense makes so that it takes hits on the physical side better, but poor HP and special defense leaves it more vulnerable on this side. Luckily, it gets Calm Mind, so if you want a sweeper, it gets to boost its weaker defense, which is obviously very great for it. And of course, its stab is a normal ground with its signature move Blood Moon, which is normal type Gigaton Hammer, but base 140 base power. I'm sorry if I just struggle. I mean, it's just what should I forgive? You guys expect me for not be able to speak normally, even my own language. I don't get to speak normally. But yeah, also it has Mind's Eye, which is basically Keen Eye and Scrappy in one ability. And of course, Scrappy is a more relevant ability because normal ground is pretty sick offensively, so be able to cover Ghost like this leaves only Pokemon like Corviknight as niche Pokemon that can take on the stab safely. Also, it gets even Moonlight for reliable recovery. You might not be able to run Moonlight every single time, but the option of healing is always valuable on a Pokemon that likes to take hits. I mean, or rather, is capable to take hits and also set up as well, while having not to worry about coverage because its stabs are already just amazing with its ability. So yeah, got Blood Moon and we'll see how well it will perform. And also because I was dead last, I got to do my pick back to back. And with it, I secured Infernape alongside it. From going for the slower, bulkier Sona to the fast frail Infernape, which of course is one of the Sinnoh starters. We're all happy they came back. I mean, it got buffs as well, but like I would say that Torterra and Empoleon got the biggest buff. I hope like Torterra got Shell Smash and Empoleon got Roost, but Earthfenix still got super buff itself. It got Knockoff, it got Switcheroo, it got Aura Sphere. Yeah, it's just some nice little buff for it to make it better offensively. Well, yeah, besides that, we all know it's Infernape. It does what it does. It's the monkey. And, well, yeah, that's absolutely right. It's just a fast attacker that can be physical, special mix, and can technically also work on bulky side because it has the speed to make Word of Status move, and its typing gives it many valuable resist. So on the rare occasion where its typing can be good for it, it can work as well, especially because it has slack of recovery. So yeah, because I was dead last and there's 16 of us, I didn't get to do my picks. My next picks for like 30 more Pokemon after that, which unfortunately resulted in me losing a Pokemon that I wanted to use, which was a Pheasant Debity, because I thought the combination of Pheasant Debity plus Ursulina Blood Moon was just disgusting, since their typing doesn't have any shared weaknesses. Ursulina has big defense, Pheasant Debity has big special defense, and also Pheasantipede wants to bait in the poison and steel types that can absorb Phesantipede's toxic chain ability for poison and everything. So that will mean free bring for Ursaluna. But unfortunately, I didn't got to get it at all, which was suck. I mean, I could have gone it as my second pick over Infernape. Maybe I should have. I just thought it would lasted longer to the point where I'll be able to get my third pick, but it went second pick elsewhere. So we had to settle in our Pokemon later on. So instead, when it was my turn again, I got to settle on Mew, which we also know that just the most versatile Pokemon there is. If there is, I said the Mew can run, it can run it. I mean, I guess I said that it lost. It's just a full-on wall because it lost reliable recovery. So basically, it's either offensive or support. Like not support in the sense to just stick around, but try to do what its job quickly before fading, which is which is all I can say about Mew. Really, like either sweeper, like I said, with like Dragon Dance, Calm Mind, Source Dance, but it got a lot of move back thanks to the TMs from the DLC, like Knockoff or like Toxic. But beside that, Mew does what it does beside the defense for the lack of soft boil and has to stick with life do or rest unfortunately. But still a nice Pokemon to get to ease to help set up my team as well. And to pair up with it, I got Isui and Samurott, which as the you know, you can set up spikes while attacking, which is a great tool to have because you're not gonna spend a turn to get more damage later on. You can just do damage and get more damage later on instead. Also, it gets knockoff itself, so more knockoff around. Also, yeah, other steps, Razor Shell Aqua Cutter for its ability sharpness, or even Sacred Sword, etc. Also, it got flip turn thanks to thanks to the TMs of the DLC. Not sure how good it will be on it because sure a pivot move is nice, but the other hand it likes to spam Ceaseless Edge anyway. But again, option is option. We take what you can get to use on it. But beside that, we just need to hope that it doesn't miss Ceaseless Edge because I remember I was helping Joey for his run of the PPL. He had Samurati Sui. I remember he was missing a lot of them, either in match, in mocks. And funnily enough, when I was practicing myself, the very, very first Caesar's Edge I clicked with it was in fact a miss. So hopefully I will not drag his misfortune with me. For, so it just like was funny to mention. So okay, so those were my next two picks. So I have to wait an even longer time again. So that my next pick, I got a Mimikyu because the pool of fairy type was getting very low. Like Mimikyu is not gonna be your fairy type to switch onto attack because you want to keep the disguise up. But and also people don't seem to really like Mimikyu pretty much because its stats are still very below average in most part, or just like nearly above average, I would say. But despite that, it still gets some decent support option. And again, the threat of it be able to set up while not taking damage is still a fine set to have on an offensive Pokemon, especially because despite its low attack, its stabs are very good offensively. But again, it's just its lower attack that doesn't make it any favor. It's just really the fact that it can get a free turn to set up that patches this a little bit. So we'll see how do the matchups can do for it to be brought offensively, and then to pair up with it. Since I grabbed my fairy, I needed my grounded poison type ASAP because I didn't got Pheasant Deputy, so I drag on Galarian Slowbro, which was like the only very good poison types left on the board. Which we know what it does. Like it's frailer than Slowbro, not by a lot, but still frailer. Because the idea is that it lost bulk to gain attack for its signature move Shell Sidearm, which is unfortunately like a little downside for it. But beside that, it still takes hit quite well, its typing is good. Funny that I couldn't get Pheasant Deputy, but I got a Pokemon. Oh, actually, no, it's not the same typing. It's the same typing as Monkey Dory. I was about to say same typing as Pheasant Deputy, but no, this one is Psychic, not Fairy. But still close enough. But yeah, so like say like AV are fine. I don't think I will ever bring a quick draw set at all because I think I'll just stick with the usual regenerator because its ability is amazing. But yeah, besides that, either like just poisoning things around with its poison move, just sticking hits where its typing can afford it, while being able to switch out. That's basically what a regen mon can do, especially with bulk. Then 30 picks later. I got I finally get to talk about Terra now because yeah, Terra is here, but this time, unlike the BBR, we're doing something similar to the PPL, where it's gonna be low tier Terra. So basically, you have like 12 point. No, okay. So basically, whenever you draft a Pokemon that you want to Terra, you'll have a Terra tax on it, which is basically its regular price plus an additional price depending on how good the Pokemon will be with Terra, assuming that it's not banned. So it was like a minimum 12 points and below Pokemon with some certain bans, or and also some Pokemon that if they were to be able to Terra, they would cost even more. Like an example was like Vivian, that was like a 3-pointer, but with Terra, you will have to pay an additional 10 points to get a Terra. Well, Pokemon like Regieleki was like 9 points, but banned from Terra. Cryogonal, if I remember, was like 4 points, but I have to pay an additional 5 to make a Terra. And also, it's 2 Terra types of your choice. And if also, strangely enough, whenever you're doing a match, you have to tell your opponent which one of your 2 Terras you have on your Pokemon. So for the case of my Cryog, also as well, there's like a 12-point limit for this Terra attack. So like I said, this Cryo costs like 5 additional points. So that will be a 5 that will go towards the 12 limit as well. So I'll have 7 more points to spend on Terra users. And for its Terra types, I went with Electric and Water. I thought about Steel, but I thought about the idea of using offensive Cryogonal because like with electric, I get no weaknesses, Bolt Beam combination with reliable move in Ice Beam and Terra Blast. I have great special defense, so I have still defensive utility, especially because I have no weaknesses. Recover, Rapid Spin to boost my speed. Its special attack might not be the best, but considering how good its a its a coverage will be, it's like it will be just better word on Frost, really. As for on the water type, I mean, sure, I don't hold a candle to Iron Bundle, but water ice plus freeze dry, again, very hard to resist. Plus being a water type immune to ground. Yeah, for me that holds a lot of promises that I wanted to use very deadly for Cryogonal. And then to pair up with Cryo, I got Terra Captain number 2 in Drift Blim. Again, for its typing, I decided to go with Poison and Fairy. I thought about getting Ghost just to amp up its Ghost move, because again, Dribbling doesn't have the greatest offensive capabilities. But I thought like defensive Terras on Dribbling can make it very annoying. Like especially if you go like a combine set, like it just becomes very hard to remove because like combine plus strength sap, and then you have a typing that you just don't care. Like your opponent has a hard time to hit you with. And besides that, defensively it's still fine. Like I believe it kept the fog. Like it's not gonna be like a the fog bot for sure. Again, it's just the idea of having options while getting good defensive typing. Thanks to Terra. And of course, offensively is also still fine. I mean, like Ghost Flying is so good that you can just have the defensive use of Poison and Fairy as well. So yeah, that's about Driftbling I could say. So that was the second Terra user. So again, more 30 picks done later. I get Arboliva next, just for the sake of having a grass type, But it matches up with the team. Like it enables aggressive terrain strategies with Drivblim for the Unburden. Ursaluna being my ground type, that use special move means that its ground move doesn't get weakened by terrain. So again, another so no malfunction between the combination if I do go for it. And also with its harvest ability, something very cool for the DLC is that Custab Berry return. So again, there's an enabling of Custab plus harvest set now. And Arboliva has very high special attack. Like normal Grass might not be the best offensive typing, but with its coverage, it's just good enough. Not sure how confident I'll be using it, but the idea of using that sounds very fun. So that's the reason I wanted to pick Arboliva. And then to pair up with Arboliva, I had a lot of points left, so I just grab a Lycan Rock Dusk, because why not? Like, just for info, I could have grabbed Landorus Incarnate because it was still on the board, but I was like, nah, let's get the Lycan Rock. Which, it's still fine, like, it's a little bit faster than Infernape, also it hits very far on the physical side, that's the Top Claw, and like, it learning close combat, other strong move, also parry Accelerate Rock and Sucker Punch. Yeah, that's why just if you let it in, it will just hit you hard. That's what it does. That's just a physical attacker. Rock is normally not a great. I mean, the type is a gamble. Like you have strong rock move, but they're not accurate. But when you do, boy, they hit hard. And then for my last pick, again, I have a lot of points. So I thought about grabbing something that would that had a lot of value in points. But I did feel comfortable with what I asked, so I wanted to have fun and grab one last Terra Captain. The thing was that I was only able to afford a Terra Captain that cost 1 Terra point because Cryo plus Dribbling costed 11 total, so only a 1 pointer that was also 1 point in Terra. And the one Pokemon that was, for me, interesting to do so with was a familiar, not very familiar face in Dragonair. Like we remember all Dragonite did in BBR before. So in Dragonair, we'll probably not replicate something similar to it because it's much weaker than Dragonite. It doesn't have its coverage either. But just the thought of having D-Knight kinda back was just funny to me. And for Terra types on it, I decided to go with normal and steel. Normal, obviously, because of extreme speed, and steel because, well, steel. Like, there was no argument in having different Terra type across each month. I just thought it was funny to have different Terra types to my other months. And on that that concludes the draft analysis. I have nothing else to say. You have every single pick of the team done and explain with the thought process of Emil Way. So hopefully we will be able to snag a league dub this time. With the BBR coming short 3 times. Yeah, now we'll do our very best. I mean, we'll see how it goes. Like, there's no guarantee to make very far. We have to work our way for it, and the competition will be fierce as always. So we will do our best. Nothing else to say. I will glad you talk to all of you next week for our first battle. See you guys then. If I can just click the stop recording button.